Welcome back to another daily devotional here. Today we are going to be doing day 3 of It's Never Wrong to Do the Right Thing. Let's see. We have Joshua 2 verses 1 through 24, Joshua 6, 23 through 25, and then Psalms 27, 1 through 3. All right. So this this devotional seems to have kind of a heavy reading schedule for us. So again, bear with me while I read. Joshua 2, starting at verse 1. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab, bring out the men who came to you and entered your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I do not know where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, they left. I do not know which way they went. Go after them quickly, you may catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under the stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of the Jordan. And as soon as the pursuers had gone out, the gate was shut. Before the spies lay down for the night, she went up on the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live well in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the 2 kings of the Amorites east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. Our lives for your lives. The men assured her, if you do not tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land. So she let them down by a rope through the window from the house she lived in, was part of the city wall. Well, that's pretty convenient. She said to them, go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourselves there 3 days until they return, and then go on your way. Now the men had said to her, this oath you made us swear will not be binding on us, unless when we enter the land you have tied the scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you have brought your father and mother and your brothers and all of your family into your house. If any of them go outside your house into the street, their blood will be on their own heads. We will not be responsible. As for those who are in the house with you, their blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on them. But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear. Agreed, she replied. Let it be as you say. So she sent them away, and they departed, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. When they had left, they went into the hills and stayed there 3 days, until the pursuers had searched all along the roads and returned without finding them. Then the 2 men started back. They went down out of the hills, forded the river, and came to Joshua, son of Nun, and told him everything that had happened to them. They said to Joshua, the Lord has surely given the whole land into our hands. All the people are melting in fear because of us. Ooh, and then we're reading another passage from Joshua. I wonder if this is when afterwards and they go back to Rahab's family. Okay. Joshua 6:22. Joshua said to the 2 men who had spied out the land, go into the prostitute's house and bring her out and all who belong in her in accordance with your oath to her. So the young men who had done the spying went in and brought out Rahab, her father and mother, her brothers and sisters, and all who belonged to her. They brought out her entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. Then they burned the whole city and everything in it. But they put the silver and gold and the articles of bronze and iron into the treasury of the Lord's house. But Joshua spared Rahab the prostitute with her family and all who belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent as spies to Jericho, and she lives among the Israelites to this day. Rahab the prostitute, living in heaven. Just let you know that God can forgive anything we do. All right, Psalms 27, 1 through 3. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then I will be confident. All right, let's go into the devotional, see what the author has to say. And they title it, Let's Make a Deal. Sorry, my hands are super dirty from working out, and I didn't clean up yet. So let's make a deal. The book of Joshua tells of a woman named Rahab, a Canaanite prostitute living in the city of Jericho. One day she found herself face to face with two Israelites. They had come to Jericho to spy out the land. She hid them and protected them from the city authorities. Rahab knew Yahweh would give Jericho to the Israelites, so she made a deal with the two men. She asked them to swear they would spare her and her whole family when Jericho fell to the Israelites. Our lives for your lives. The men assured her, if you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us the land. What happened next is famous. The Israelites marched around Jericho for 7 days. When the trumpet sounded and the army gave a loud shout, the wall that protected Jericho collapsed. The God of the Israelites had broken down the walls to let his people in and provide rescue to allow Rahab and her family out. The wall that protected Jericho collapsed, but we know that Rahab's house was part of that city wall. So God did not collapse that section. He must have just right where the army was, that part fell down. I would have to reread that. I think I've only read it like one time. I don't know my Bible enough. We're getting there. All right, Joshua fulfilled his spy's oath for the safety of Rahab. Rahab's faith-filled choice to help the people of one true God in the face of the great danger resulted in an everlasting blessing for her family and generations to come. Like Jochebed from yesterday's devotional, Rahab would be listed in Hebrews 11 as a woman of faith. Through Rahab's story, we learn that when we magnify the greatness of God, the fear of man is diminished. Even in dangerous situations, we must choose to be on God's side. He gives the courage to be brave. God is greater than anything you may be facing today. Call on him and make him the Lord of your life. He will break down the walls and flood you with his love, freedom, and purpose. There is no greater gift. And so our do the right thing to end us today is God is offering us a deal of salvation, healing, and victory through his Son, one that you can access through faith. So commit or recommit yourself to this deal today, God's deal. It's pretty easy for us. We're in the new covenant, right? We just have to believe in God. And then after we put our faith in him and, that he came and died for us, we just have to do our best to live for him. Obviously, we're not perfect, but we can sure try to be. With God's help, obviously, we can't do that on our own. All right. I will see you on the next daily devotional.